regular French
the
toast?
4 strawberry banana joint. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll get some. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is. Omar Tyree in the house. It's funny, he came by the Relentless house and now we're at the IHOP, which is the House of Pancakes.
You call that the Relentless house?
Oh yeah, that's my space. Yeah, we call it the Relentless house. That's how you Google it. That's how we're found. So we're chilling, talking like writers talk. You know, talking like resourceful men talk. Talking like kings talk, but talking like friends talk. So you know, we've been aligned for quite a number of years. I want to say 2004 or 5, because that's when I was part of the Book Expo America, and I think I had a run-in with him at the Book Expo America. We took a photo, and that's when we first aligned. And ever since then, every time he comes to Atlanta or even in New York, I remember you crashed at a friend's spot, Renee McCrae. We did a little interview at her house out in the beach.
Yeah, Queens.
Yeah, the beach. So Queens, right? So Renee's still a good friend. She came down here, stayed at the house too. So, and so you know, it's like, you know, if I'm in New York, Omar's there. If I'm in
fact, it reminded me of that scene in what's that Shaft movie when they shot the scene where they was going out to find Paul Mary. Is Paul Mary your name? Paul Mary? Where they went out to find the Italian girl.
Oh, okay.
I think she lived out in Queens. It was very similar. that house that we interviewed. Yeah. House looked very similar to that movie, John.
Yeah, so now I'm here in Atlanta, and he's not only, well, you know, I remember we engaged in business where I had him at the Bronner Brothers hair show, but also now he's been a frequent, I should say frequent, because he's been probably 3 times now. He's been by the Relentless house. You know, we've served hospitality to him, done interviews, the whole 9. So we might as well call him family, not just friends. So for sure, he's always energetic and passionate and about his craft, and his he's a thought leader, to be honest with you. A lot of people don't know about Omar, because a lot of times people like to pigeonhole us as writers. They don't know about Omar is that he's very analytical. He's very analytical. He's very he's about his research. So he's not gonna speak on something if somebody said, "Love me some Omar Tyree." He's not gonna speak. He's not gonna speak on something. Yeah. He's not gonna speak on something if he's not clear about it. You know. So one of the things we were talking about is black film. We were talking about black film, and you know, films are inevitable for people like us because we master. We have large audiences, and Omar was a front runner. He's definitely a first mover as it relates to novels. I remember being in prison and listening to him on the show with Wendy Williams, and him telling his story and how he's selling books out of his car, and now here we are having breakfast. So this is for me. I'm always coming full circle. I'm always where I'm supposed to be, or where I'm supposed to be. For those of you who didn't understand what I said the first time, and so Omar is here as a just a reflection of our alliance. Really, I appreciate you as always coming through, man. What's new? What's new and popping for Omar? Let folks know. First of all, say hi to
Dwayne.
No,
Dwayne
it's not.
Peaks.
Is that
Danielle?
Okay, Danielle. Okay.
Danielle Peaks.
And she said, "Oh, I love me some Omar."
Introduced me back.
She said, "Love me some
thanks for the
Omar Tyree." I met him years ago. A great guy, and
thank you.
Fly girl introduced
Thank
me
you.
back in the day. Yep.
Yeah, I'm an old head now. See gray hairs, and they trying to keep me away from doing films, and I don't know, why. I understand how to tell why, but that's what I'm working on now.
It's happening, guys. He knows it's going.
It's working.
Yeah,
it's about to make,
That's right.
knock on wood. There's wood right here. All I got to do is live, because I'm going to make it happen. I'm not playing, So
I know
the
that.
time is gotten past the whole watching and waiting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an official old head in our community, and I want to put a lot of young people to work. And I got a lot of young stories, because I was writing at such a young age. All my characters now are like, most of them are under 30. So I'm like, wow. So that means I have to cast people, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna cast us to pay, 20-somethings.
Right.
So that means I have to be dealing with all the young people.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
That's why I keep talking about Quincy Jones, you know what I mean? 'Cause he was like a young dude dealing with old jazz musicians, and then he became an old producer dealing with young bucks, including Michael Jackson and
Tevin
Fresh
Campbell,
Prince.
all that. Fresh Prince.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
brings up Tevin Campbell,
Yeah.
but he had influence on a lot more people than Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Jones, the brothers Johnson. I mean, there's a whole list of them, but
I like
he
that.
was definitely
that
definitely the guy.
Of him starting early
Mm-hmm.
and learning it, like we said earlier, paying your dues, and then he got to the point where people doubted him because when he first hooked up with Michael Jackson, you got to understand the music. And I've read about the music industry, like, hey man, you do jazz, we're doing pop over here, like. So they was pigeonholing him like you do, and he was like, I think I know how to do music for Michael.
right.
And all he did was do Off the Wall, which is classic.
Right.
Thriller, which broke all the
Forget
records
about
in
it.
history.
Yeah.
And then he did I Am Bad too. We forgot about the third one. All three of them records is quintessential.
And then not
Michael
only
Jackson
that, he
stuff.
also worked with Miles Davis.
Yeah, when we was young.
and-
Thelonious Monk and all them dudes.
Yeah,
And then he also did film scores.
Yeah,
Crazy
of course.
work.
Yes, Shaft and what was it? Not Shaft. I was thinking of
Mahogany, some of the Motown joints.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So yeah, man, he was doing a lot of work.
So I think also we forget Gordon Parks.
Yeah.
So
High.
when we talk about
His straw might be a little defective.
what we talk about when we talk about
Gordon
sort
Parks
of
and Cooley High.
thought leaders. It would be Gordon Parks. It would be Van Peebles.
Yeah.
Because of course he was behind with.
And then Van Peebles, Eddie Murphy redid, the Sweetbacks movie, and everybody was talking about, you see how he did going to the theaters? I said, I've been saying, I was telling you that earlier.
Right.
Going taking the movie to the theaters. I said, because you can rent the theaters. People forget that. Like now, I saw that AMC is allowing you to rent their theaters for $99 because of the pandemic.
Oh wow, $99 a day.
$99. You you got to make that money.
Yeah.
$99. But
So
it
maybe they
depends on how
wouldn't
many
do it
seats.
the whole day. Maybe
Well, no, you only need one screening. You need 2 hours, 3 hours. And if you want to get greedy and do it all day long, I'm just talking about one screening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
just to
if you
say
do it all
that you
day
at the
long, it's gonna
AMC
be
theater
more.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a smart
Yeah,
pivot.
but here's the deal though. You got to make sure they're giving you the large theater.
Right,
they
'cause you
giving
gotta
just
space people
50
out.
seats.
Yeah.
I'm like, that ain't. But now with this, so now it's like, okay, you got to figure out the numbers on that situation. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
interesting because
But see,
that's about
with the bigger
they're being
theaters-
resourceful.
But the big theaters, if they got 700 seats, even spreading it out, it's gonna be 400.
We were talking earlier about being resourceful, and that speaks to being resourceful, pivoting in these times. In other words, okay, they're gonna stress your money over here. Let's see if we can do something this way. So the barbers, for instance, we were talking earlier how barbers were shut down because they're doing this personal service and very close up to people. So barbers have been resourceful and created mobile barbershops and doing people's stuff from home and all like that. So if anything, I think, and then also when you're doing that, now you don't have to worry about brick and mortar no more. So I'm sure some barbers and beauticians are saying, hey, why was I paying rent in the first place? So I don't know. There's pros and cons to this whole pandemic thing. What's the most, because, they always say you got to find the positives in it. What is the most positive thing you've seen come out of this struggle with the pandemic?
Well, this whole concept of we're all in this together. You know what I mean? Where all the Americans can see, like, hey man, don't matter if you white, black, rich, poor. You know what I mean? We all in this daggone pandemic. Everybody, the president caught it after talking all that talk. You know what I mean? Him and his wife. So one of the things is we're all human here. You ain't above me. You know what I mean? You're not outside.
Not even
of
by
the frame
color, because
of nation.
Yeah.
And then I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm in Charlotte. I have never seen so many, white folks coming out begging and asking for at the corners. I my mind in Charlotte, dude. I don't know how it is down here in Atlanta, but I have never seen that many of them coming out with quarters and, So again, it's like, wow, we all in here for real. But I typically don't see too much of that.
Because people out of work now and laid off.
It's real.
Businesses shut down.
Real.
Entire
folks,
strip mall shut down.
I see them folks more than us now. And in Charlotte, we got a whole look like a daggone science fiction movie. They got the camping,
Walking Dead. Oh,
the camping things.
Tents.
The tents.
They
we
have
got a
tent
whole
city.
Tent city, close to downtown.
They got them here too.
Man, it's crazy. Cause you talking about like 100 tents. So I'm looking at that like we in the road to madness here. What science fiction movie?
It's a straight movie.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on right now.
That's happening here too. I noticed there on the highways, the tents and
it's about to get cold now.
And people, yeah, that's crazy. That's a new level.
And it's about to get cold now.
That's a new level.
It's cold down here in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's usually 70 and above up here. It's a little chilly last night.
Dangerous, man. You get out there, you get 30 degrees, night after night. But I think
we're all in this together. I like that. In fact, sort of. Have you seen any of the online initiatives that have been going on? There's a lot of Zoom conversations. I think Oprah did one.
Cool conversations on what?
People have been having conversations. The more interviews have been taking place because of the pandemic. Now people are in their homes, so now the celebrities are really engaging. So there's these one-on-one.
Did you want cheese in your eggs?
Okay.
No, did you?
Did you want cheese in your
eggs?
Eggs, that's what she said.
Nah, cheese on the eggs? Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you been more online?
Nah, man, I've been so busy, man. You know what I mean? And we should bring it up. The talking head thing has now become the end thing.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
And I'm like, I'm trying to do stuff, dude, not sit around listening. I'm sorry.
Like he's here with me. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm trying to stay busy, not be watching. Like I had an argument with my lady the other day because she wanted the cable, and I'm like, look, we don't even watch 90% of them daggone shows on cable.
Right.
So cut down some daggone. I'm not, fiending out watching TV. Like, I'm not. I only watch sports.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't, but for other people, it's an addiction.
So what'd you get? You got grits. What else did you order?
I got French toast. It's hot.
So he's not an expensive guest.
Hot off the grill.
I told him I'd take care of it today. It's all good.
Oh, I was prepared to pay for my own thing.
Oh no, it's my treat, bro. I'm just you're my OG. How about that?
Pass it this cool quid, man, at bed and breakfast places. I want to start them too. He didn't jumped on it, and this man somehow I thought it was Halloween last night. I didn't know what it was. The whole crib lit up like this whole 70s thing, man. It's cool,
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of stuff in there. People that can read, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, we cater to a lot of entrepreneurs that come through.
Yeah, so you love the whole art of it, the expression. Because now it's like, these folks are so money driven. And I used to tell people all the time, they would have these big ideas. I'm going to write this book, and Oprah's going to have me on a show, and Denzel's going to be in my movie on the first book. And I'm like, focus on your next book a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying Oprah's not going to call you and Denzel's not going to be your best friend and do your movie, but focus on the writing part.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Master your craft.
Yeah, I'm like, write the book. Like, people always, my book is going to be the hottest. I'm like, all right, finish the book first. You on page 20 right now? Okay, get to page 200.
You did finish, right, exactly. That's half the fun, trying to finish something, instead of talking your way through this,
Yeah.
And that brings me to shortcuts. I hate and I love people who think that they can take the shortcuts in life. And here's why I say hate and love. I hate it because it's just wrong. Do you have the blueberries? Yeah. Okay, and that's I see. Okay, and you didn't forget a minute.
Oh, you got the turkey bacon.
You got pork
bacon.
Yes.
No, we're gonna keep that far away from me. Well, you got enough food over there, don't you?
Yeah.
Let's see what Omar's working with over here. You got the
That's my favorite meal.
Egg and bacon,
man.
and he got
Breakfast has always been my favorite meal.
Waffles, and he got the grits. He gonna be a big man in a minute. I'm going light. I'm just doing a short stack with some turkey bacon. That's how I do.
See, them pancakes are really thick. So you say you're going light, but I don't really eat a lot of pancakes.
So what I was saying about shortcuts, I was saying I love and hate people that do shortcuts. So I said hate it because it's just wrong. Like for instance, you know, it's one thing to talk the talk. It's another thing to walk the walk. You know, and that's one thing I took away from. I think Lawrence Fishburne said that in Matrix, and it really hit home with me because there's just no shortcuts. And when you do take shortcuts, you miss out a whole lot of the organic things, like for writing, for instance, writing books. You can't shortcut your way to a winning book. Yeah, you might have a hot idea, but if you don't know the skills of writing, if you don't know first person versus third person and perspectives and plot twists and double cross and triple cross and quadruple cross, you're never gonna keep your audience.
Oh, you got that?
Thank you so much.
That's it?
Yeah, that's fine, man. So
Yeah, I tell people that with the editing process, you know, like when I was editing books, we still had paper. It wasn't like, you know, you're gonna have like a Word, that they send you a Word document and you editing on a computer.
right.
I came from the era in the
Where they
90s
printed.
where they would still print the manuscript. So I would get these big boxes.
Right.
And then they say, okay, we edited in red, you gotta edit in green. Right? So you gotta edit in a different color pencil so they can see the marks that you put versus their mark. And
Which publishing house were you with?
Simon & Schuster.
Simon & Schuster, okay.
And I tell people, you can't cheat that process. Because if you got mistakes on page 15 and 29 and 34, you know, you got, because now I'm thinking, it might be a mistake on 72, 73. So if you cheat that process and try not to do that work, you end up putting out a book that got a whole bunch of mistakes in it.
Yeah.
And they give it to you 3 or 4 times. You come down, that book back again. 3 and 4 times it's coming back to you. And they say, okay, we got green and red, do yours in purple this time. And you're like, but you have to do, that's part of the process.
Now, I said I hate that, but now I love people who do the shortcuts because they gonna learn today. Like, in other words, they say there will be no wine before it's time. You know that saying, like, you know how a bottle of wine has to mature before it really is good.
Be no fine wine.
Right. And so a lot of people, they take these shortcuts and they stumble and fall, and all I do is shake my head, like who trained you? Who trained you? At the end of the day, you know. But both good and both ways, people gonna learn. You know, they're gonna learn to do it the right way, or learn how to win, really.
Yeah.
So speaking of winning, where do you see yourself in when you're, let's say when you're 60, because right now you're 51.
Right. Well, at 60, dude, I want to have at least 20 films done.
Okay.
That's pretty, man. So you talking about 8 years?
Oh, 8 years to do it, yeah.
So if I do 3 to 5 films a year, I'm right on point with it. You know? So again, knock on wood, I'm healthy. But, you know, my pop right now is he's 21 years older than me.
21 years old. Oh,
72.
Oh.
And he's still bopping it. You know, he still got that energy.
He still got that bop.
Oh, man. West Philly all day. So
Okay.
I'm looking at that like, you know, my mom was energized and whatnot. So I'm looking at, I'm going to be in pretty good shape.
So before we go and start to knock this food off, could you give a message to Philly? Because right now they're going through a lot. You know, the guy Scott Walters just got shot out there down by the police. Any message you want to give to your brother in Philly, brothers and sisters in Philly?
Well, I always say, man, that, you know, it's that next day, every time. I used to say that when I was first starting my journey, before I wrote any books and like that, I said, I got tomorrow, you know what I mean? I'm not dead yet, I'm still alive. So at the end of the day, everything becomes a lesson no matter what you're going through. You're still alive, dude. You look at, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do the next day? And I don't care who you are, everybody got to do that, you know? So as long as you're still breathing, figure out how you're going to make an adjustment to whatever you need to do, day by day. What it is for all of us.
Thanks, Omar. So yeah, that's deep. Like, there's a lot going on in Philly. I know. I'm sure they're protesting and rioting. I feel for y'all out there with the shooting. But Omar says, you know, if you're still alive, think about tomorrow. What we doing next? Like, how are we progressing from this point? Let's not stay on the misery. Let's what happened happened, and yeah, let's get some justice. But let's move on and progress and be better. Let's not spiral because I wanna live and I wanna see my friends. And let me say hi to everybody real quick. Okay, so Don Yale Perks. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it right because he did. Omar is good at that. Author Shonda Brown. Hey, Shonda. Shonda's from Atlanta. She's the one that was running.
What's going on, Sonia?
And Shonda Brown. She's the one.
Okay.
She was running a book initiative out here a while ago. Raji Abdullah. That's I think he's got that book. Cheaters. Something about cheating. Something about cheating.
Who?
Raji Abdullah. He's got that something about why men cheat or something like that. Yeah. So what's going on, buddy?
Michael Basin's book before too. Huh?
Something like that.
Never Satisfied. Why men cheat. That's what blew Michael Basin up in the 90s.
All right, guys, we're gonna eat our breakfast and spend quality time. And thanks for checking us out. Talk to y'all later.